What's up, guys? Johnny NoSurf here, lifeafterinternet.com, NoSurf Podcast number 5. Title is, What Could You Do with 6 Hours a Day? The date is Friday, July 8th, 9:18 a.m., coming at you live. So I'm going to go through 2 episodes that happened in my life. One was at age 13 and one was at age 19. I have a very strong feeling you can relate to this. I don't know what age it happened to you. Maybe it's happening right now. Maybe it's been 5 years since. Who knows? So I'm 24 right now. And when I was 13, I spent probably 7 hours a day watching TV, 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday, which is a lot, man. That's a lot. Yeah, every day I get home from school at like 3:30 or whatever. Go in my room. I turn on the TV. Pretty much always a comedy channel. Either that or whatever the Turner channel was, the Ted Turner channel. 47 here. Cable channel 47. Does that help? But it'd just be like movies. Basically just watch comedy movies and action movies and the comedy channel. Even if it wasn't funny. Even if I didn't like it. And I'd watch it pretty much from like 4 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. And I say 10:30 because King of Queens with Kevin James, that would come on at 10 to 10:30. And after that, it was like, I think it was Everybody Loves Raymond after that. And I hate that show. I did not love Raymond. So I turned off and fucking go to bed then. But every day, watching 6 hours of TV. And that's a lot of time. That is a lot of time. Now, what I want to address in this podcast number 5, what could you do with 6 hours a day, is the reason why. The reason why I laid in bed. I didn't even sit in bed, and I didn't have a chair or anything in my room. So I laid down. I laid down in bed like a sad dog, like a sick dog, and I watched TV for like 6 hours a day. Why did I do that? Why would I just totally just give up all that time? And the reason was, man, my life sucked, man. My life was shitty. Now, why did I do that, though? Like, why did I just lay there? And it was because, well, one, when I was 9, my dad had a heart attack, and he died. So I had been without him for a few years. I was used to coming home, and he would be there, right? And then, like that's what, like, we just do whatever for the evening. We do whatever for the afternoon and the evening. But without him being there, it was like, okay, like, I'm 10. How do I plan my day? I don't know. Let's just watch TV. Like, there's not that many. I mean, it's almost encouraged by some parents to just, okay, I just go watch TV. Like, get out of my hair type of deal. They don't have to worry about you, right? You're not out in the streets selling drugs and stealing shit from stores. They're just in the room watching TV, they're not being an issue. They're not being too active, right? They're not getting hurt playing basketball or whatever. Yeah, I just watch TV. I just consume content. It's a babysitter. The TV's a babysitter, right? So I was kind of like a zoned out phase of my life for a couple of years there, dealing with not having a dad to, well, basically just help me plan my day and give me guidance like that. So I don't know if your situation is like that. Maybe you never met your dad, or maybe he's a dope ass dude. Maybe your problem with the internet has nothing to do with that. But that was my first time of like, oh man, I don't know what's going on with my life. I'm just gonna stare at this glowing screen and then go to bed, do the next thing, and do the same thing the next day, and do the same thing the next day, and basically just burning time. You're just burning time. But that, I snapped out of that because I got a job. I got a job selling chocolate bars, and I hustled, and I was like 13 making, I made like, less than $5 an hour doing that. But I could reliably make $20, $12 to $20 in an evening. It'd be like 3 to 9 I would work. Like 6 hours, man, that's like $2 an hour if you're making 12. But I loved it. I love going out there, hustling these chocolate bars. So fast forward about 5 years. High school was legit, but going from high school to university, once again, I lost that guidance. So I was 17, 18, 19. I was my own man. I had to be my own guidance. It would have been sweet to have a really successful mentor who could have pointed me in the right direction, guided my habits a little bit, but didn't have that. Maybe you guys have that. That's nice. It's really nice to have, but I didn't have that. So when I got to university, a lot more free time, right? Because you go to lecture, and then that's it. The rest of it's up to you. You got to do the readings, right? You got to study for the exams. It's on you. They're not going to spoon feed you like they do in high school. So, I mean, I did, whatever. But I had a lot of free time. I spent a lot of time on the internet, a lot of time on forums, and a lot of time on YouTube because I was kind of lost. I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm pretty happy with like my career and stuff now. But at the time, wasn't really sure what my role in the world was going to be. So, once again, I used a glowing screen like a babysitter. I'd get home from class. Well, it wasn't so much that year. It was the year after. Because between my first year and my second year of university, I took a year off. And basically, I'll give you what my day was. I would wake up at noon. I would cook lunch. I'd eat lunch. I'd go to the gym. I'd shower, come home, cook dinner. And while I cooked dinner, I would be kind of have a forum in the background, some YouTube in the background, cook dinner, eat dinner while reading forum posts and watching YouTube videos, and then start drinking and basically just be on the internet from, let's say, 6 p.m. to midnight, 6 p.m. to 1 a.m., just casually drinking and being on the internet. So that'd be good 6 or 7 hours a day, which is basically the same amount I used in when I was 13. So that's why I'm drawing the parallel here. I just babysit myself with a glowing screen. Now, the way I snapped out of that year, once it got to be spring, I was dating a girl, and she broke up with me because I was boring. That's the word she used was boring, and it rang really true. I was still on the computer, man. I was a boring dude. I didn't have a lot going on. That's actually how I kind of started asking some fundamental questions, like, why am I so boring? Why do I spend all my time on the internet? Why do I spend so much time drinking by myself on the internet? Questions I should have asked myself a long time before that, but I asked them, and that's when I found NoFap, when I found yourbrainonporn.com, and I found our NoFap community, and then a couple months in, I got on our NoSurf, which was dead at the time, completely dead. But I was like, man, I don't care what anybody says. I gotta get off this internet. I gotta, like, this girl was beautiful, and she was cool, and like, I don't know, it spurred something in me. It was like, oh man, like I gotta get my shit together, which is good, man. It was really good. So I really thank her for that. So that's when I got into NoSurf, and then after that, I stopped. Obviously, once you get involved with NoSurf, once you start to think that way, you're like, you don't want to just mindlessly consume content. I still did go on the internet mindlessly at times, right? That was part of the struggle that I'm sure a lot of you guys have been through, guys and girls have been through, good folks in the internet. I view this podcast as a necessary evil. That's why I make it short. I went from being a mindless consumer of content to a very, very, very mindful producer of content. I'd like this content to help you, right? I write and do this podcast with the reader, the listener in mind, almost like you're a part of my family. That this will help you in your journey. I wanted to be encouraging to you, because I remember when NoSurf was a little baby. This little baby had like 500 people subscribed to it, and at first I was very skeptical. Right, there was maybe 3 pages of posts, and it was all, well, you don't need to quit the internet. You just need to moderate. You guys are dumb. This is so dumb. Lol, you guys are talking about quitting the internet on the internet. Lol. You guys are so dumb, right? The mockers. Right, the mockers. And then NoSurf grew to 3,000. I remember that when Clodian posted that. It grew to 3,000. And it was a lot of, I'm addicted to the internet. People start saying it. They started saying, look, I'm addicted to the internet, and I keep getting sucked into it. People would post their stories basically right after they blew a bunch of hours on the internet. They'd be like, man, I just blew like 4 hours, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I keep getting sucked into it. So there's a tinge of desperation or failure to their posts, right? It wasn't a winner's mindset, and the game wasn't winnable. It was a game that they kept losing. Then there was a more moderate crowd that came, and they were saying, I'm in school or I'm working or whatever, and I keep losing 2 hours a day to the internet. I keep losing 4 hours a day, and I want to keep that time for going to the gym. I want to keep that time for school, for work, for boyfriend, girlfriend, for family, for whatever. Or the internet makes me tense, or it makes me depressed. The internet makes me depressed, that kind of stuff, which it does. That's what it does. There's a lot of negative content on it, and the internet, most of the stuff on the internet is craving for your emotional investment and wants to steal your emotional currency. So just don't give it to it. Life after internet, NoSurf. So that was how the community has changed. The NoSurf community has evolved. And since I've been doing this podcast, it's only been a month. It's only been 28 days since I've been doing this podcast. But now I'm noticing a huge change in the posts, which is, okay, I got rid of the internet. Now what? Okay, I'm not going on the internet all weekend. Now what? I'm not going on the internet for a month. Now what? That type of like, okay, over the hill type of stuff. Okay, let's say we do it. Okay, I am doing it. But how do I fill the time? How do I fill the time after I cut out the internet? Which is huge, man. That's so encouraging. That's so encouraging, and that's why I keep doing this podcast. Because 3 or 4 years ago, when I was on our NoSurf, right after NoFap, and nobody gave me social permission to quit the internet. Nobody told me it was a good idea. People told me it was a bad idea. Obviously, it was a great idea. It was one of the best decisions of my life. But there was no A to B. There was no before or after pictures, because there was no money in it. No one was selling a book yet. No one was selling a 12-week, $400, this is how you quit the internet course. And I'm not. I'm still not doing that. And I won't do it because I'm getting this out for free. So anyone in high school who's got the summer off and they're on track to blow 1 million hours on a forum or 1 million hours on YouTube, I want to intercept that and be like, nah, man, you don't have to. If you don't want to, listen to the podcast. If you don't want to, go on our NoSurf and just do something else. Do whatever you want. So that's it for me, guys. I ran out of notes probably after the first 4 minutes. So this is NoSurf Podcast number 5. Johnny NoSurf, lifeafterinternet.com. Have a good weekend.